exist beyond a reasonable doubt.
My time is up. Thank you.
Senator Grass.
Senator Johnson and I wrote you about text messages between Peter Strzok and Lisa Page that appear to show the FBI may have tried to use counterintelligence briefings for the Trump transition team as intelligence gathering operations. I hope you will commit to answering the letter in writing, but also providing committees the requested briefing. That's my question.
Yes, Senator.
Have you already tasked any staff to look into whether spying by the FBI and other agencies on the Trump campaign was properly predicated? And can Congress expect a formal report on your findings?
Yes, I do have people in the department helping me review the activities over the summer of 2016.
Okay. I suppose it depends on what conclusions you come to, but is there any reason why Congress wouldn't be briefed on your conclusions?
It's a little early for me to commit completely, but I envision some kind of reporting at the end of this.
The Clinton campaign and the Democrat National Committee hired Fusion GPS to do opposition research against candidate Trump. Fusion GPS then hired Christopher Steele, former British intelligence officer, to compile what we all know as the Steele dossier that reportedly used Russian government sources for information. The Steele dossier was central to the now debunked collusion narrative. Now, here's the irony. The Mueller report spent millions investigating and found no collusion between Trump campaign and Russia. But the Democrats paid for a document created by a foreign national with reported foreign government sources. Not Trump, but the Democrats. That's the definition of collusion. Despite the central status of the Steele dossier to the collusion narrative, the Mueller report failed to analyze whether the dossier was filled with disinformation to mislead U.S. intelligence agencies and the FBI. My question, Mueller spent over 2 years, $30 million investigating Russian interference in the election. In order for a full accounting of Russian interference attempts, shouldn't the special counsel have considered on whether the Steele dossier was part of a Russian disinformation and interference campaign?
I don't, Special Counsel Mueller has put out his report, and I have not yet had anyone go through the full scope of his investigation to determine whether he did address or look at all into those issues. One of the things I'm doing in my review is to try to assemble all the existing information out there about it, not only from Hill investigations and the OIG, but also to see what the special counsel looked into. So I really couldn't say what he actually looked into.
But you think, in other words, if you had looked at all that information right now, you're telling me you could have said yes or no to my question?
If I had looked at it.
Yeah. And you're going to
Yes.
attempt to find
Yes.
some of this information
Yes.
if it's available.
Yes.
Similarly, shouldn't the special counsel have looked into the origins of the FBI's investigation into alleged collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia?
The origins of that narrative?
Yes.
I don't know if he viewed his charter that broadly, and I don't know whether he did or not. That's something that I am reviewing, and again, we'll look at whatever the special counsel has developed on that.
Yeah. In Volume 2 of the report, the special counsel declined to make a traditional prosecutorial decision. Instead, the special counsel laid out 200 or so pages relating to a potential obstruction analysis and then dumped that on your desk. In your press conference, you said that you asked the special counsel whether he would have made a charging decision or recommended charges on obstruction, but for the Office of Legal Counsel's opinion on charging sitting presidents, and that the special counsel made clear that was not the case. So, Mr. Barr, is that an accurate description of your conversation with the special counsel?
Yes, he reiterated several times in a group meeting that he was not saying that but for the OLC opinion, he would have found obstruction.
Yeah. If the special counsel found facts sufficient to constitute obstruction of justice, would he have stated that finding?
If he had found that, then I think he would state it, yes.
Okay. Was it special counsel Mueller's responsibility to make a charging recommendation?
I think the Deputy Attorney General and I thought it was, but not just charging, but to determine whether or not conduct was criminal. The President would be charged, could not be charged as long as he was in office.
Do you agree with the reasons that he offered for not making a decision in Volume 2 of his report, and why or why not?
I'm not really sure of his reasoning. I really could not recapitulate his analysis, which is one of the reasons in my March 24th letter, I simply stated the fact that he did not reach a conclusion and didn't try to put words in his mouth. I think that if he felt that he shouldn't go down the path of making a traditional prosecutive decision, then he shouldn't have investigated. That was the time to pull up.
Okay. There have been a number of leaks coming out of the Justice Department and FBI during high-profile investigations. The Inspector General found that during the department's investigation of Hillary Clinton for mishandling highly classified information, there was a culture of unauthorized media contacts. During the Russian investigation, the leaks continued. Leaks undermined the ability of investigators to investigate. Further leaks to the papers while Congress's questions to the department go unanswered is unacceptable. Why? What are you doing to investigate unauthorized media contacts by the department and FBI officials during the Russian investigation?
We have multiple criminal leak investigations underway.
Thank you.
Senator Lay.
Thank you, Attorney General. I'm somewhat troubled by your testimony here and in the other body. You appeared before the House Appropriations on April 9th. You were asked about media reports that